Tanakwe, Talofa, and good morning to you people of the internet. Welcome to the show. The world of film is quite an interesting one to delve inside. You have absolute masterpieces, absolute logs of crap, and plenty of others in between. And the in-between bit can be really interesting, because some films get a lot of flack and a lot of praise in equal measure from fans and critics alike. I'll share my own thoughts. I'm going to take a look at a few films, or in some cases a film series, that seems to have had salvos of praise and muck thrown at it in equal measure. And general disclaimer here, everything I say here is just general opinion. You don't have to agree, and if you want to discuss further with me, feel free to comment down below. But the first film I wanted to talk about was Star Wars Episode III, Revenge of the Sith.
Everyone likes to hate on the Star Wars prequels. It's easy to see why. Saturation of CGI, cringeworthy acting, writing that is absolute crap. Yeah, there are some massive problems. But hey, there are some good things in the prequels. Okay, hold up, put the lightsabers down for a moment. Sure, there's a ton of cringy moments, but there is still some good stuff, and I definitely think Episode 3 had the most. I thought the story of Anakin's fall to the dark side, his desire to save his wife, was told quite well, acting aside. John Williams' score is magnificent, as always, and Grievous. Come on guys, Grievous is a freaking boss. I love the performances of Ewan McGregor and Ian McDiarmid as well, and just the emotion. Okay, sure, not exactly communicated well, but you can see in their faces and their eyes. The pain Anakin is feeling at the prospect of losing Padme, Obi-Wan at the betrayal of Anakin, Yoda at the destruction of the Jedi Order, the feeling of dread and hopelessness as the dark side swallows up everything the Jedi worked so hard to defend. It just resonates so well here. It's a satisfying end to the Clone Wars era and a shift into the reign of the Empire. Is it the best film in the saga? No way. But I don't believe it deserves to be a target of the fans' flack. Sure, it has the problems of the prequels, but I think what makes me enjoy this film outshines it.
We move on from a single Star Wars movie to an entire film series, one that I was actually really excited for, but was ultimately disappointed by. And that film series was The Hobbit.
Now, I love the Lord of the Rings series, and they're fantastic films to revisit. Even as a 10-year-old, the Fellowship and the whole adventure through Middle-earth captivated my imagination. The casting was perfect, the story was well told, and the way the film turned my home country into a strange, foreign, magical new place was wonderful. Not to say The Hobbit didn't do the same. Martin Freeman is great as Bilbo, and the dwarves are really memorable too. The scenery still looks awesome, and the story is enjoyable. However, The Hobbit didn't really have that quality I felt with Lord of the Rings. I wanted to be engaged in the story and thrust back into this amazing world. But The Hobbit's pull was way too weak for me, and it wasn't really a series I wanted to rewatch compared to LTR. It could be to do with the fact that there's more time with LTR and there was a rush to make the Hobbit films, but it just seems that I couldn't be pulled from my seat. They're definitely not bad films in the slightest, and I can name a really enjoyable moment in all three. But if you were to offer me the choice of watching Desolation of Smaug or my favourite Lord of the Rings film Return of the King, I'd go for Return of the King any day of the week. A bad film series? No, not at all. But I prefer to travel with the Fellowship over Lawrence Company.
Now we enter superhero territory with my next choice. And it's a particularly infamous Marvel film next, by the name of Spider-Man III.
I love Spider-Man as a character. He's my favourite Marvel superhero. And yes, I'm excited for Spider-Man Homecoming. But Spider-Man 3 got quite a bad reputation. And looking at it, yeah, it definitely deserves it. But I can still see some great glimmers and ideas that could have made this a great film. I thought Thomas Hayden Church was perfect casting for Sandman, and I liked his sympathetic villain writing. I thought Harry and Peter's schism was well done, and there was some great potential with the symbiote and Venom. But it wasn't developed enough, or was executed poorly. The symbiote, rather than corrupting Peter and attempting to take control of his body, just turned him into a cringy emo. Venom looked great but had little screen time, and I feel there was actually little time to develop the combined threat. I'd have actually stopped the film after Venom's birth, and then have Spider-Man work to forgive himself, and actually fight them over the course of another film, had I been in Raimi's place. I am sad Sam Raimi's series ended like this, but there were good development ideas in there. I just wish the team had developed it more.
And now we come to the final film of this video, and this is probably one of the most recently controversial and contested films, and that is Suicide Squad.
I have friends who both love and loathe this film. I've watched videos about it, and I've been working hard to get my head around it as well. I'm personally on the middle ground here. The critics have a point, and the film could have been done much better, but with what we got, it was something you could still get some enjoyment out of. There was still some good stuff in there. The soundtrack was good, and I liked a few of the characters like Diablo and Katana. Harley Quinn, however, was a big selling point for me. I was excited to see one of my favourite comic book characters ever come to life. What I got was okay. Don't get me wrong, Margot Robbie was great casting, and had a lot of moments that seemed reminiscent of her original appearances. But there were problems. I wasn't too keen on the costume, which seemed more like a cheerleader to me. The writing left Margot unable to reach her full potential, plus she just needs a bit of accent work. But that being said, I definitely watch another HQ movie with her in the starring role. Of course, there were some large problems. Story was all over the show, some of the characters seemed way too underdeveloped, and of course Joker, who had been built up, ended up not being in the film very much, and I can't really make a comment on Leto's performance with such little material. Yeah, it's a bad film, but I can still enjoy it to a degree, and if you can too, no problem. Different tastes, as I say.
Seriously, what the hell's wrong with you people?
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
And that brings me to the end of the video. But what did you guys think? Agree with me? Disagree? Or just some mixed reception films of your own tastes? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But until next time guys, goodbye. Hayara.